Brendan here with Sons of Speed, and with the launch of the C8 Corvette just around the corner, we thought this would be a great time to revisit why we love the C7 so much. Sure, there's the looks, the power, and the handling, all of which punch above the Vette's price class, but these are the 20 little things we love about the C7 Corvette.
First up, welcome screens. Our list appropriately kicks off with the first thing you'll see stepping into your new C7. And while a welcome screen is nothing new, the Corvette's two graphic displays mean you get twice the greeting. What's so special about all this? Technically nothing. But the fact that they went with these splashy moving graphics over some boring static display lets you know that the people who made this car love it as much as you do. Up next, the HUD. I'll be honest, the first time I saw the head-up display on a C6 Corvette, my initial reaction was, get that crap off my windshield. But the C7 has come a long way since the monochromatic 8-bit graphics that you get in earlier generations of the Corvette. Drive 5 minutes with the 7th Gen's full-color HUD, and you wonder why every car doesn't have one. In the new Corvette, you can customize the display to show the speed, just a tachometer, both the speed and a round tachometer, or the speed with a racing-inspired hockey stick tach complete with shift lights. This last setting is especially useful at the track, when just a glance down at the gauges can mean hundreds of feet of track you didn't see. In addition, the Corvette's HUD can also display useful things such as navigation directions, song and artist information, low fuel warnings, and other information. That brings us to number 3 on our list, customizable gauge displays. While the computer screen for Guages display has the obvious advantage of being able to change its looks and feel to match the drive mode of the car, one of the not so obvious advantages is the ability to choose the pocket gauges left and right of the tach. The default settings of these gauges is oil pressure on the left and oil temp on the right, but these can be changed to show everything from battery voltage to, get this, the current amount of horsepower being used by the motor. One nice additional touch in the they didn't have to do this but they did it anyway category is the way the odometer and the trip computer numbers turn, as if they were on a vertical spindle. Like the splashy welcome screen, it's these little touches that show the Corvette team wasn't just throwing things together just to save time and money. Someone actually had to think about programming the numbers to turn this way, something most C7 owners probably haven't even yet noticed. On to number 4 on our list, hidden Vette symbols. Ever been to a Disney park and looked for the hidden Mickeys? Apparently the C7 design team did, because they loaded the Stingray with iterations of the C7's logo. Some obvious, like the badges on the hood and rear fascia, but some much more hidden. Did you see the logo on the center caps of the wheels? How about under the hood in relief? What about the symbols in the headlights? And finally, did you find the ones in the rear window? Did Chevy need to do this? No. But did they have fun doing it? Clearly. And speaking of Chevy, the only place you'll see its trademark bow tie is inside the Vette's own logo. And the only time you'll see the name Chevrolet is that brief flash in the welcome screen. On to number 5 on our list, the hidden compartment. While James Bond has traditionally preferred cars of British heritage, the Chevy team paid 007 homage in the C7 with the inclusion of a hidden compartment behind the infotainment screen. Its only downfall is they marked the button with the word screen, but that can be easily remedied with a little carbon fiber tape. The space is great for sunglasses, sunblock, hair ties for the ladies, or anything else you need to store in your Vette. There's even a little USB plug in there allowing you to connect your phone or other small device and leave it out of view. The button becomes inoperable in valet mode along with the glove box and trunk, so it's a great place to store your valuables. The aftermarket has even stepped up with a fitted shelf to help keep things organized. Next on our list, magnetic ride and variable exhaust. Two options on the Stingray which are standard on Grand Sports and Z06s are magnetic ride and a variable exhaust system. Magnetic ride uses electric current and magnetic fluid in the shocks to change the Vette's ride from compliant and comfortable in weather, eco, and touring modes to sporty in sport mode and race car firm in track mode. This allows the Vette to adapt to whatever the situation requires, and it really works. Have to drive on a bumpy road? Touring mode helps to soak up the bumps. Looking at a twisty mountain drive? You definitely want sport mode. Heading to the track? Not only will track mode give you the firm suspension you want, but having magnetic ride also gives you access to Chevy's awesome performance traction management system, which allows you to choose between wet, dry, Sport 1, Sport 2, and race modes, depending on the conditions and driver skill and comfort. The other option C7 owners definitely want is the variable exhaust, which allows the driver to select a quiet stealth exhaust note, routing exhaust gases through only the muffled center two of the Vette's quad pipes, or a loud exhaust note that also engages the outer two straight pipes for a much more aggressive sound and a 5 horsepower in torque gain. Like most everything on the C7, the driver can select which driving modes get which exhaust sound. These two options paired together allow the C7 Vette to go from a mild-mannered and comfortable GT cruiser to snarling track beast with the turn of a single knob. Number 7 on our list is the Performance Data Recorder and Valet Mode. If you want navigation in a C7, you are also forced to take the Performance Data Recorder, or PDR for short. This bumps the price of navigation up to a steep $1,795. But what you quickly discover is that Chevy is doing buyers a favor in practically forcing the PDR on its customers. The PDR consists of a forward-facing HD camera, race telemetry, and upgraded GPS sensors, along with an SD card slot to record your upcoming adventures. The system can record video with or without several data overlays. Just want an uninterrupted view of your scenic drive, or want to use the PDR like a dash cam? Choose No Video Overlay. Laying some rubber down at the drag strip and want to see your acceleration times? Choose the Performance Timing Overlay. Just want to see your RPMs, speed, and G-forces displayed? Choose the Sport Overlay. At the track and want to record your lap times as well as your position on track? Choose the Track Overlay and don't forget to mark the start-finish line. Once you return from the track, you can analyze your laps using the free Cosworth Toolbox software and easily compare laps to one another to see where you can pick up more speed next time out. But the other incredible feature you get with the PDR is Valet Mode. In this mode, you enter a 4-digit PIN into the display to turn off the radio, lock the storage compartments and the trunk, and, most importantly, record video with speed and RPM data anytime the car is turned on. This is exactly the evidence you need to catch valets, porters, and mechanics red-handed if they think about taking your prized Vette out for a joyride. In fact, just arming Valet Mode should act as a deterrent to any unscrupulous wannabe speed racers out there, so even though your Vette can't stop an unauthorized joyrider, at least now it can bust them.
I should have taken the Porsche.
On to number 8, Ventilated Seats. While heated seats are nothing new and cooled and ventilated seats are becoming more prevalent in the marketplace, we can tell you from experience that nothing beats a ventilated seat on a hot day, especially when the top is out of your Vette or you're flogging it at the track where running the air conditioning is not an option. We found that the ventilation seems to work better on seats with the microfiber inserts than on the full leather seats. Number 9, turn signal warning. Now, we've all been stuck behind that guy whose turn signal's been on for the last 5 miles. So, in the why didn't anyone think of this sooner category, did you know the C7 Corvette will audibly and visually notify you if your turn signal's been on for more than 3/4 of a mile? Yes, your car will beep at you and display a turn signal on warning in the center display and in your HUD to keep you from being that guy.
All right, next on our list is this amazing Targa Roof. It is truly the best of both worlds. You can take this on the racetrack with the roof in, or when you just want to have beautiful open air motoring, you take the top out. It's 3 quick latches. It's very light. One person can do it on their own. You pop it in the trunk. There's a nice secure place for it, and you can even fit luggage underneath it. And look at this. It's a beautiful day like today. There's no better way to drive a Corvette. And it's available on even the Z06, so you don't have to worry about the frame not being stiff enough without the roof in there. They fixed that. It's amazing. It's one of the things that will make you just love the C7 Corvette.
Number 11, OnStar Maps searches. OnStar's been around for a while now, and it does a lot of things really well, but this feature is one of the little gems that enhances your enjoyment of the C7. We all know how frustrating it is to look up a location using the onboard navigation system, but pull up the My Chevrolet app on your phone, select Navigation, Send to Vehicle, and simply type in a search for your location, like Gingerman Raceway. Once you find it, simply send the location to your Corvette and watch as it almost instantly downloads to your car. This time-saving step can be done at any time before your trip. Number 12, trunk space. Most two-seat sports cars suffer from two things: a stiff ride and no room for your stuff. As we saw earlier, the Vette's magnetic shocks take care of the stiff ride, and the rear hatch and generous storage space allows you to fit more than you'd think possible in the back of your Vette. 2 sets of golf clubs? No problem. How about everything you'd need for a track day, including a jack stands, air compressor, camera bags, tools, parts, and even a rolling chair? Yep, those all fit too. With its hatch opening, getting things in and out of the trunk is much easier than, say, with a Camaro and its very small trunk opening. So if your significant other complains, you can say, with a straight face, that a Corvette is a practical vehicle. Lucky number 13, gas mileage. You can also say, with that same straight face, that your Corvette is an economical car as well. Despite its ability to lay rubber and carve up tracks, the Stingray returns an EPA-rated 29 miles per gallon on the highway, and owners are seeing even higher numbers depending on their speed and driving style. The ratings for the Grand Sport are slightly less due to the increased rolling resistance of the much wider tires, and the Z06, well, let's just say you don't buy a 650 horsepower supercharged monster like the Z06 for its fuel economy. Number 14, acceleration timers. Every car guy wants to know how fast he can hit 60 or run the quarter mile. And in the old days, you needed expensive sensors or a drag strip to tell you that info, but the C7 bakes those timers right into the car. Simply select the timer, reset the previous run, and go. And if you have the PDR, you can record those runs with the times overlaid right on the video. Number 15 is a quick one. No gas cap. Thankfully, this has been a trend recently, but it's so nice not to have to mess with a gas cap on a C7. On to number 16, functional air vents. There is nothing worse than fake vents and scoops on a car. This all-show, no-go design fakery, which can be seen on Chevy's other performance vehicle, the Camaro, was thankfully shunned for the design of the 7th generation Vette. Every vent, scoop, and duct you see, even the ones you can't see, on the Stingray, Grand Sport, and Z06 are fully functional. Up front, air passes through the front grille, over the radiator, and out of the car through this hood vent, which also acts as a heat extractor to cool the engine. At each side of the grille, air is directed to cool the front brakes. Excess air here is released through these side vents. On Grand Sports and Z06s, these visible ducts cool the rear brakes, while on Stingrays, these vents are hidden under the car. These shoulder vents on either side cool the transmission and differential, and excess air in the system escapes through these vents at the rear. All these elements work together to keep the C7 running strong and cool lap after lap. Number 17, front hinge hood. Front hinged hoods are nothing new. My first memory of them was of a Jaguar E-Type, and my 1988 Bertone X19 had one as well, but today there are few front engine sports cars with a front hinged hood. Even the Viper, which started and ended as a front hinge hood, briefly changed to a rear hinge from 2008 to 2010. Of course, the advantage to moving the hinges forward is that even if the hood isn't latched correctly, you'll never have your view blocked by your hood. Number 18, keyless entry and auto door locks. Corvettes began featuring a true passive keyless entry where you just need the key on you but don't have to hit any buttons way back in 1993, and it's one of those features that longtime Corvette owners have grown to love. Even better than a door that opens just by touching a pressure pad on the door is the fact that the car will lock itself when you walk away with the key. Even today's cars that copy the keyless entry feat haven't yet adopted the keyless lock feature. Number 19, pause and rewind live radio, at least for 2014 and 2015 models. One area that Chevy keeps tinkering with on the C7 is its radio. For the launch year of 2014, owners got HD radio, which promptly went away for the 2015 to 2017 models, and is now returning in 2018, with Chevy giving no real reason for the change. For its first 2 years, the C7 enjoyed one fairly unique feature: the ability to pause and rewind live radio. While you could, of course, listen to that favorite song again and again, this feature really shined when the baseball game was on and it was interrupted at an inopportune moment with a phone call. So why did Chevy drop the feature in 2016? We asked Corvette spokesman Ron Kino, who claimed their data showed very few customers were using the feature. Of course, Chevy never publicized the feature, so it's no wonder. Last but not least, manual transmission with rev matching. In an age where the manual transmission has become an endangered species, the Corvette team has not only preserved the manual, but improved upon it in such a way as to be the transmission of choice for the discerning buyer. First, Chevy added a 7th gear to the transmission, keeping the revs low and the gas mileage high, even when cruising over 80 miles per hour. Second, they added a rev matching feature that, when activated by pulling either of these paddles, instantly matches the engine speed to the wheel speed when downshifting, making you look and sound like a professional driver. Now, if you'd rather heel and toe for yourself, the Corvette's perfectly placed pedals make that a breeze as well. With fewer and fewer cars being offered with a manual transmission, and with rumors of the C8 being a 2-pedal DCT only, we can't help but wonder whether the C7 manual transmission Corvettes will become a future collector's item. Well, there you have our list of 20 little things we love about the C7 Corvette. What about you? Leave us a comment below with the little things you love about this latest generation of America's sports car. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And for Sons of Speed, this has been Brendan. Thanks for watching.